So Lisa's journey is, it's unbelievable really. She was the most incredible, I've never met anybody so inspiring. She's incredible, her love of life was infectious.
It's your boyfriend, let's have him. We're rowdy, girls make our judgment cloudy, but when the sun comes out, we're still outies. We don't
go
want to
on a
be
journey
lousy.
with this young, beautiful girl who's got it all, just got married, editor of a magazine, everything's going great, and then she gets the diagnosis of breast cancer. But she's such a fighter that she doesn't let it get her down. She takes to a blog as a release and is the wittiest, funniest writer. So her strength all the way through is just infectious, and she gets her whole family on board and they're supportive, but she doesn't let it beat her, and then towards the end it gets obviously trickier and there's highs and lows for her. But I mean, she was a one-off in the way she dealt with what so many people have to deal with, and it touches so many people, cancer. But she was just special, and the book she wrote and the way she wrote was just completely inspirational. On my list of things to do before I'm 30, I hadn't factored in beating breast cancer.
Everything in this has been exhaustively researched, and all the doctors and everyone involved, that Lisa was involved in Lisa's treatment, obviously we spent a lot of time with them. But for me, the most important research was just spending a hell of a lot of time with Lisa, eating cake, drinking champagne, just getting to know her, and that was the most brilliant thing about it, because we spent a lot of time together. It was a real collaboration. She told me what bits were funny, she told me what bits were rubbish, she hated my music choices, and we just worked on it together. And yeah, we one day I went into the Royal Mars and she was getting a blood transfusion, and her and Pete were there, and I didn't know what to expect, but I just sat down with them there, and we just pissed ourselves laughing for most of the day and just had such a good time. So from the very beginning I had her voice lodged in my head, and it's sort of never really left. Whatever expectations you come with to a subject matter like this, I just hope that after a couple of minutes people will have the same reaction to the film as I did to Lisa's book, which was just to enjoy it, really enjoy it, and enjoy her voice and enjoy her humour.
Maybe you'd like to have a bash with Jacqueline. Well, as you think, it's maybe a bit too severe.
Oh, sorry about my friend.
It's not you.
Her voice being heard, this will hopefully get families talking more about it, you know, and her blog is still visited regularly by people, all right it. And I just think her voice is, she's carrying on, you know, she's helping people, even though she's gone away. And I think the fact that it's not a morbid thing, you know, it's not, we haven't made it into a very morbid program, because she wasn't. She was about celebrating life, and I think it will be nice for people to watch, and hopefully takes a bit of Lisa's sparkle with them.
The biggest challenge of doing this was, of course, when the cancer came back, and there came a point where Lisa always wanted us to tell her story. She always wanted this to happen, but I had only written up to the point where she gets the all clear, and having to go back to it without her, because the absolute joy of the process was just working with her. And took a conversation with Pete, where Pete said she didn't like things half finished. She would have no truck with things half finished. She would want you to write to the end. And I started to read her blogs all the way to the end. Obviously I'd read them before, but reread them. And then it was like, it sounds sentimental, but it was like she was with me again. As soon as I could hear her voice in my head again, then it was like we were doing it together. And from that point on, I could get to the end.
And you did it brilliantly, I have to say. You know, it was just all on the script. Everything I had to say, just Lisa just leapt out of it. So you absolutely captured it. It was the most special job I've ever done and will ever do. And that's because of her.